Now we're going to set up the multiple choice questionnaire paper online. Simply go to the quiz. So the first quiz will be anatomy and physiology for exercise. Click on edit, then move into edit settings. Now within this, you've got lots of different functionalities. So we've got the name, then we can scroll down and look at the timing. Now if we look for an example of an award and bodies question paper, and we look at, for example, VTCT, they've got a mock question paper online that's easy accessible, and we can see that the time allocated for this question paper is 1 hour and 45 minutes. We can also see that there's 50 questions. We scroll down and we see this mock paper. There's approximately 4 questions per page. Now what we want to do is put that online for each student to try. So within the different options, we've got open quiz and closed quiz. You can define a time when you want this to open or close. Additionally, you can put in a time limit. So as you can see from this question paper, it's 1 hour and 45 minutes. That will equate to 105 minutes. The next option we've got is when time expires. If I just open this up, when time expires, the setting controls is what happens if a student fails to submit their quiz attempts before the time expires. If the student is actively working on the quiz at the time, then the countdown timer will automatically submit the attempts for them. So what this means, very simply, is when a student is doing a question paper, when they run out of time, automatically the system will submit all answers they've got. Therefore, if there's 50 questions and they've answered 45, the 45 questions will be submitted. Scroll down to the grade. The grade to pass will be 70%. They will obviously only be allowed to do 1 attempt on this question paper. Obviously, awarding bodies may have several different papers for attempt 1, 2, or 3. Simply set up each paper exactly how I'm showing you. Go to the layout. So for example, again, if we scroll down, we can see there's 4 questions per page. If you want to replicate that, simply scroll down and pick the number of questions you want to show per page. The navigational method. Now you have 2 options. You can either do free navigation or sequential. For example, you would have to do question 1, followed by question 2, followed by question 3. Now of course, just like any question paper, the navigation will be free. Clicking on question behavior, this gives you, do you want to shuffle within questions? For example, if enabled, each part of each question will be randomly shuffled each time a student attempts the quiz. Therefore, the shuffling for each question will be no. So we want to totally replicate how the exam is set out. Now we've got deferred feedback. Now, do you want to give the students the answers as soon as they finish a question, or do you want to wait until the end, until the question has been submitted? If you want to wait until the end, when the question paper has been submitted, click on the deferred feedback. We'll scroll down to review options. Now you can see this side says during the attempt. It's all been shaded out. This means that all feedback will be given immediately after the question paper has been submitted. Click on appearance. Now you may want to use the student's profile photo to ensure that it's the actual student that's sitting the exam. If you do, then obviously do the small image or a large image or no image. Decimal places, of course, it'll round up and we don't use decimal places. If you click on extra restrictions on attempt, now this is key. If you're sitting the real exam and not the mock exam, this here will give your exam invigilator a password. Therefore, when your student enters their username and password to access their student profile, to access their coursework, before they can go on and do a quiz, there's a password. So you will give this password to your exam invigilator. So it could be, and if I unmask, I can see just for now, I have put in the word password 123 exclamation mark. Therefore, a student cannot view the quiz unless the invigilator is present with an exam password. If I click on show more, we can actually now bring this down into network settings. So if you've got an exam classroom or a computer room where you want your students to go to complete the course, you can set a network address password again. If we scroll down, we've got browser security. Now your browser security is quite good. If you have a look, it says browser security. If a full screen pop-up with some JavaScript security is selected, then the quiz will only start if the student has a JavaScript enabled web browser. Secondly, the quiz appears in a full screen pop-up, so that will cover all other windows and has no navigational controls. Third, students are prevented as far as possible from using facilities such as copying and paste. So the Java window will pop up and completely take over the entire screen. So I like to set this to yes. Overall feedback, so we can see from 99.9% to 100, this is the feedback they'll be given to the students as soon as they hit submit. Next we'll have between 70% and 99.9%, this is the feedback. And of course below 70 to 1%, this will be the feedback requiring the student to sit a second paper.